Hi guys, it's Miss Saldana. I'm here to give you a little feedback on the essays. So just a heads up, you're going to be a little disappointed in the scores. They weren't very high. They were extremely low. I had a couple of decent papers, but overall we struggled on this one. And what I noticed here, what you see on the camera right now, are the things that we struggled on. And this was your first essay in which I gave you the tools, and it was kind of a test to see if you could really follow everything that I gave you and execute to the best of your ability. And some of us, we made it. We got there. We fulfilled the challenge, and some of us, not so much. And so I need you guys to think about, like, as we are remote learning, how can you readjust? Where do you have to reach within your soul to ensure that you are using the sources correctly? Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to talk about is following the thesis sentence frame. So basic, but guess what? A lot of people did not do that. And so when I say that, I'm talking about this guy, right? That sentence frame. And of course, the frame is just there to help you. But I noticed that some people just kind of like, they kind of sort of used it and they kind of sort of didn't. So I don't need a kind of sort of. I need you to follow it. And I need you to make it your own. I need to see that, the basic thing that I want is for you to take a position. And that was hard to see in some people's papers, which concerned me very, very much because we've been talking about this prompt for a very long time, pre-corona, okay? All right, so make adjustments. You're gonna make your own. I'm gonna show you a sample of someone that did a really great job at using all these tools. And this is how I know that the tools work. When a few people get it, I know it's working. And so it is a little disappointing to see that all the tools were not used to full capacity. The second thing, I would say this is the thing that hurt the most, was the citation handout. I saw a lot of misunderstanding. I saw a lot of overthinking. And so I just want to review that again with you guys because we're going into research. By the way, I'm going to be extremely more explicit about citation and research, but I think because it was your first time around dealing with multiple sources and dealing with this handout, that maybe threw you off a little bit, okay? So we're going to go over that, and then also context. I want to show you what that looks like. I asked you to do it in your outline. If you use the outline, I could tell that you tried. If you didn't look at the outline, I could also see that in your paper. And so just to kind of wrap up this whole thing is that I noticed that a lot of us were asking questions, and the questions were there for you in the resources that I gave you. So I need us to really, really reach within our souls and our hearts and use it all. And then if you're like, I don't get how to use this despite the resource, that's a different conversation, right? Okay. All right. So let's go to the sample. This is someone's paper that they turned in. This is their thesis, and I'm just going to show you something that I liked where they followed the frame, but they made adjustments to make it their own. And I know that's hard to do. That's the challenge, right? Because you want me just to give you like the perfect example, you copy it, and then I give you an A. Guess what? That's not how it works in college. I give you an example, you process, you digest, and you make it your own, okay? So this is what this person did. They said this. I'm going to kind of zoom in the best that I can. Hold on. Phones are kind of funny. Okay, so they said, in many cases, we also learn how helping can worsen the situation and not only leave the person helping hurt or killed, but the other person helped as well. This research has led me to the conclusion that individuals are not personally responsible for helping others in times of distress because intervening during those moments endangers others present. Reason 1, ourselves. 2, and it enables people to not take responsibility for themselves or their choices. Boom. They follow the frame and they made it their own. Okay? All right. Let's go on to citation. All right? Second thing. I'm going to move over. The thing I liked about this one, I actually fixed it. It was almost perfect. All right, in terms of citation, you have this lovely handout, right? And some of us used it, and some of us didn't. Some of us misinterpreted it. Okay, so I highlighted the parts where I wanted you to look at, okay? And so all you needed to do was if you used a quote and you mentioned the author's name, all you needed to do was to put the page number in parentheses. If you hadn't mentioned the writer, which most of you did, then of course the writer needs to go in there. There is no comma. It's Burke 3. There is no page number. We know the MLA citation rules that when you put a number in there, that you mean page, right? So you don't have to put P or spell it out or any of those things. So you put the last name and page number. But if you already mentioned the last name before introducing the quote, then you don't have to put it in there, okay? And then I know some of us were getting confused with this last part. Oops, where is it? I think it was final page, sorry. When to put the name of I think this is the wrong page. This is the one that I want. It was when to put the name of the article. So you put the name of the article. I'm not on the right spot. I had it right in front of me. You put the name of the article when there is no author, okay? And so a lot of us were getting confused, right? And then of course, same thing, page number, no comma, no P, no P-A-G-E. You just take it out, okay? All right, so this person did just that, okay? And so if you notice, what they said here was, Alexander Van Horn became paraplegic because her friend Lisa Torty, The case alleged that Torty worsened the injuries suffered by Van Horn, blah, 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 blah. Quote, statement 1. And see that blob right there? This person put a comma they shouldn't have, because as you saw in the citation rules, all I needed was the last name of the writer and a page number. And that follows the format. Okay? So that's pretty much all you need, and that's what you're going to do in research. We'll talk more about how to, like, when you have multiple authors and we'll talk all about that in research, but for the time being, that's what it should have looked like across the board. And then on the final thought that I talked about in terms of context, this person did it again here. Notice they put the comma, they shouldn't have put that there, but overall it looks pretty good, last name and page number. And I love the context before this quote. In 2015, a man chose to intervene during a traumatic event where a gunman ordered a train of people. The man decided to play hero, stated. Boom. All that information before the quote. I, the reader, feel set up and ready to consider that quote, right? So look at how long that is. I love it. Worked really well, and the citation almost perfect if it wasn't for that little comma. Okay? All right, so lesson to be learned here is I need you to look at the resources, right? I need you to follow everything that I give you, okay? And then the final thing is edit your work. There's so much work, and I know that some of you guys are working off your phones. I get that part, but there are certain things like contractions and then lowercase I, certain things that I felt like if it was given another read, it could have been avoided. Okay? All right. Love you lots. We are going to grow from this, and I need you to really reevaluate how you enter into the next essay, because I do not want to see mistakes like this happen again, right? I want you to say, like, okay, I got it. I understand now. I'm going to check in if I don't understand about the resources, but I need you to learn from this, and let's make it better. Okay? Love you lots. We'll talk again.